PvE in Overwatch 2 is no longer happening. I'm going to go ahead and read this massive quote from one of the developers. The developers of the game are stating that PvE is still a focus going forward, even though it's been canned. Okay. So executive producer Jared Noose stated during a live stream on Twitch, this is his direct quote, and it's a page and a half long. Development on the PvE experience has not really made the progress that we have hoped. The team has created a bunch of amazing content, so there's awesome missions that are really exciting. There's brand new enemies that are super fun to fight, and some truly great and ridiculous hero talents. Hero talents. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses. Hero talents. I can read. But unfortunately, the effort required to pull all of that together into a Blizzard quality experience that we can ship to you is huge. And there really is no end in sight or defined kind of date where we can put that out to the world. He continued, and so we are left with another difficult choice. Do we continue to pour all that effort into PvE, hoping we can land it and at some point in the future? Or do we stick with this set of values that we have aligned on and focus on the live game and focus on serving all of you? With everything we have learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that you deserve, it's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term talent power progression, those things that are just not in our plans anymore. And we know that this is going to be disappointing to many of you, which is why we wanted to bring it up before we talk about the roadmap. And to be perfectly honest, it's been really difficult for many of us and a lot of folks on the team that pour their heart and soul into that stuff. Now, they're saying that story missions will still be released starting with Season 6, but it's not going to be the PvE mode that they had told us about. Zach?
Me, please.
Zach wants to go.
Oh my gosh. Overwatch, you guys, this is gonna sting. Okay, listen. Overwatch has one of the most colorful characters and worlds that we've seen in recent IPs. Yep. And it has some of the greatest potential for amazing storytelling, for incredible storytelling, especially in campaign style modes. And yet, and not only that, it was promised that players were going to get that in Overwatch 2. Now, here's the problem.
They're not even owned by Microsoft yet.
People, I know what exactly. You guys are just, maybe that's why Microsoft wants them. They're like, you think like us. Come on in here.
We can't keep promises either.
Hey, you can't keep promises. We can't keep promises. We
overpromise and underdeliver
like you do.
Baby.
Hold on, guys. Let me get some marshmallows.
Dude, yeah. Get the fires are burning, bro. Oh my gosh.
Roasted.
I'm so infuriated and frustrated with this because seriously, Overwatch has all these amazing characters that you love, and you want to see more story involved in the game and get to see these characters' experiences through the story, because they're actually really genuinely well created characters with very colorful just beings. And I really feel like the backstories, I just, it's such a waste. It is throwing away money when you guys, like, seriously, if you put the actual effort into it and actually really do it, you guys could make
I'd pay for it. I would pay for it.
People would pay for this.
Make a separate game.
Here's the other problem. Here's the problem with this. They don't have vision. Okay. There's nobody leading the vision for this. Everybody's too worried about other things. There's nobody leading the vision for this, and that's why they don't have a defined end date or anything like that. So whoever's in charge, you're fired. Get out of here, because we need somebody that actually will lead the vision for this project to actually get it done and get it into the hands of gamers. This is a ridiculous thing. Companies and studios that are promising things in games need to stop doing it. If you are not in a place where you know you will deliver on this, you don't say a word. Say nothing about it. Okay. If your game is in the process and it's not to the place where you can say, oh no, this is going to get done and we know it, and we have a clear vision for when it's going to get done, you say nothing. You don't get a voice anymore until you actually have something to put up. Put up or shut up. I'm done with it. It's ridiculous.
Put up or shut up. He's done with it. I just want to touch on something real quick, and I'm going to throw this over to Arto Jim.
Ridiculous.
Is that, you know, one of the things that excited me about Overwatch 2 was this PvE mode, and I've
Correct.
kept it installed because I don't really play that much anymore. Just because I mean,
Because Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1 with different skins.
Yes, basically, and some new maps and modes and some new characters that you have to pay for now, which is, you know, silly to me. But hey, whatever. I was excited for the PvE mode, so I find it shameful. But and I just want to pose this question for both of you: is this more of a, you know, we're not going to really make that much money off of the PvE because this is a free-to-play game. Let's focus on what is making us money. Let's reallocate sources to what we can do to continue to build our live service, because that's where our people are at now. This is what people are used to. Is that something that could be impacting this decision as well, do you think? Arto Jim, I'll throw it
because
over
it's a gamble. They don't have guaranteed money on it if they go this route and actually finish the project. They're guaranteed money. Oh, they're getting cash flow in every month because of the live stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll throw it over to you, Arto Jim.
And I do want to just emphasize a few things, but Avalanche is right. This is kind of like, it's a systematic problem, obviously, within the gaming industry as a whole, in which you promise something that you will never be able to deliver on. Now, when it comes to Overwatch, one could say two things. One, they don't have a vision. That's clearly what, like the last couple of sentences, they clearly don't have a vision, which shows, and maybe they got high on their own supply or whatever.
A leadership.
But they had to have had a vision at one point. What happened to it?
I think when it comes to games, like sometimes when you exceed, because Overwatch, when it was launched, it was a gamble. Let's be honest, it was a gamble, and nobody knew it was going to be the phenomenon that it was now.
Yeah, as is any new IP.
Right, but it exploded beyond our wildest dreams. And again, colorful characters, great little mini movies. You really got invested in all that. Overwatch 2, it's kind of a disappointment. It is what it is. And I think it speaks there is no leadership there. They have no vision. They have no. When you say we have no end in, paraphrasing, we have no end in sight.
Yes. That's a leadership problem.
That's a serious problem.
Yeah.
But because when you say that means no leadership. 2, your budget is probably going out of control. You're probably overspent already. And now the mechanism in which you're thinking about getting, revenue probably isn't going to work. It's not going to validate everything you've just done. So it's best to cut your losses and take the L and move on. And I think it's unfortunate, but I think it has nothing to do with the content. I think there's strong IP. It's a strong IP with great potential, but the guy running the ship just doesn't have any idea where they're going. And
people need to get fired. People need to get fired, and new leadership needs to take care of business.
Well, that's maybe where Microsoft.
That might be what's happening.
Maybe Microsoft can help out with that if they do take over. I mean, it seems absolutely.
They could. They especially know how to overpromise and underdeliver, so they can really.
Well, sure, but I feel like Microsoft's learning really hard lessons right now. Especially with their Redfall release. And if you're buying Activision, you need to come in and you need to support this stuff. Activision historically has had bad leadership. They are going. How many lawsuits do they have going on right now over sexual harassment and assault? And they're just a broken company. Bad. They probably would have been worth twice as much, than Microsoft's paying for them if they had their crap together. But they obviously don't. And this is the Blizzard side of everything, but it's very disappointing to see. I hope they don't scrap the stuff completely. They keep it, and maybe they try to make a separate game that they can release. I would pay money to play this because you've spent time with these character backstories. They have these awesome videos and stuff. It's just like the potential's there. you can't tell me that you didn't at least at one point have a vision and now you don't. I mean, things. They just
But
took
you
a hot
said-
steamer in the bed, really.
Well, but you said something like the potential is there. We don't, and you're right, potential is there. But the one thing that's not there is time. The longer this goes on, other things are going to.
Yeah, true.
This
And it's been 4 years.
Yeah, the space of video games it's constantly moving.
Yep.
You know, I think we talked about last year whether Armored Core and Titanfall, like the reason they couldn't exist at the same time, it's because time. 4 years already. People are going to forget and move on.
Yeah, and not to mention people who have been disappointed about Overwatch 2 being Overwatch 1 just with different skins.
They're not going to come back
for all this time.
Yeah,
give me a break.
What would you come back
and
for?
Here we are again.
Yeah.
This is a systemic problem where video game developers are overpromising and then under-delivering because they think that they can make changes afterwards, after launch, but people are you only get one chance with gamers nowadays, because we're like, you know what? Especially backlog gamers, because we have limited time to play games.
Well,
so if I get a game that comes out that I was really excited about, but it's kind of a dud, I'm gonna go play a different game because I don't got time to just waste my time on this other game, hoping that someday it's gonna get better.
And also the competition is higher too.
True.
Like if that's another big part, time and competition. Like if you come up with a subpar game and it's just like the market's not going to be there for you because people have moved on. And two, no one is gonna come back to an IP that's 4 years. It reminds me of like Duke Nukem Forever, right? Just for all the kids who don't know, this is an epic legend of a game disaster. But
you could throw poop at the wall in that game, so that's
revolutionary. What they did, right? So
revolutionary. It took them 10 years to do
you
that.
stole my punchline. I was going with.
Oh, did I? Did I steal that? Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't interrupt you. I'm
it's
sorry.
all good. But essentially, but that's the problem. Time and competition are at a high level right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot get your act together, gamers are gonna go, look, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go find. Yeah. And this is how IPs die, unfortunately.
Right. And if you don't put up, the rest of us are going to shut you up.
Well, I just want to mention that, you know, just to play devil's advocate here, is we are technically in uncharted territory with these live service games. These live service games didn't really exist outside of MMOs, I guess, back, when World of Warcraft was exploding and people were paying a monthly subscription to even play the game. But we are in kind of uncharted territory with a hero-based shooter like this. It's a live service game that people are still playing. This game is not losing traction. It's still going strong. But so what I think, is they have a vision for it at some point, and they realized that deviating from what they're doing with their live service is not. It's as you guys said, it's tanking money. Time is running out. It's not going to be relevant. Let's just scrap this, move on, and focus on what is working for us now. And that's just a shame, especially because, as Zach said, you made a promise and then you didn't keep it.
And you lose trust with gamers.
Put up or shut up, man. I agree.
If you lose trust with gamers, trust is the hardest thing to rebuild. So
it really is. And I'll go back to it. Microsoft is learning that lesson right now. The Starfield better be good, pal. Do you guys have any final comments on the Overwatch 2?
No, I can't take it anymore.
We are. This is.